When Ubisoft heard the reviews of Assassin's Creed 1 saying, good concept but a bit repetitive, they said, hold my purse, we're making the best game of all time. And they did.
May I come in?
Fine, but only for a minute.
A minute is all I need.
Indeed.
Well, wait, that came out wrong.
Without exaggeration, Assassin's Creed 2 is so good, I wanted to cry. Because how have they fallen so low after creating what can only be described as a masterpiece?
You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
This is only the second Assassin's Creed game and I'm already thinking they peaked. So will my journey to rank every Assassin's Creed game be downhill from here? Assassin's Creed 2 follows the journey of Ezio Auditore da Firenze, a young nobleman in Renaissance Italy, as he transforms into a skilled assassin seeking revenge and justice after the betrayal and murder of his family. For these videos, I'll be playing the Ezio collection, which is Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations in one game, and they've sort of enhanced the look of the games. From what I can tell, it just looks a bit brighter and smoother. It also includes the DLC, I believe. In Assassin's Creed 2, sequences 12 and 13 are DLC as they were originally cut due to time constraints, so while I have played this game before, I haven't seen these parts. I wish I could say I was playing the Ezio collection and not the original versions for some profound reason, but really it was just cheaper than buying the games individually. The game opens with Desmond Miles escaping from Abstergo Industries with the help of Lucy Stillman, a former Abstergo researcher. They flee to a safe house where Desmond is introduced to a small assassin cell. Anyone remember Sean and Rebecca? I'm pretty sure Sean was the most hated character in video gaming for a while. Their plan is to use a modified animus to explore Desmond's ancestral memories further in order to uncover information that might help the assassins fight back against the Templars. Desmond relives the life of Ezio Auditore, his ancestor, starting in 1476 Florence. Ezio is born into a wealthy Florentine family. His father Giovanni is secretly an assassin. When Ezio is about 18, from what I could gather, his father and his two brothers are falsely accused of treason and publicly hanged. Ezio, barely escaping, is left with his mother and sister. Giovanni leaves behind assassin gear and documents, setting Ezio on a path of vengeance and discovery. It's kind of funny because Ezio finds the assassin's robes and just puts them on without questioning it. Ezio travels to Monteriggioni, where his uncle Mario Auditore begins training him in the assassin ways. Ezio learns that the powerful Templar order was behind his family's betrayal. Over the next decade, yes, this game takes place over a whole 10 years, Ezio journeys across Renaissance Italy, Florence, Venice, Forli, Tuscany, and ending in the Vatican, hunting down and assassinating key Templars connected to the conspiracy. Throughout his travels, Ezio interacts with major historical figures like Leonardo da Vinci, who becomes a close friend and upgrades Ezio's equipment. This is the start of the series shoehorning in quirky historical figures, but this one actually feels very natural. The first target is Uberto Alberti, a Florentine judge and a supposed friend of the Auditore family. He betrays Ezio's father Giovanni by falsifying evidence and arranging the public execution of Giovanni and his sons. Uberto is Ezio's initiation into the world of assassins and Templars. His execution is personal and emotionally charged. There's nothing sneaky about it, as Ezio announces who he is and how he's going to kill anyone who so much as gave his father a dirty look in the street.
The Auditori are not dead! I'm still here! Me! Ezio! Ezio Auditore!
Next, Ezio sets his sights on Francesco de Pazzi, a powerful member of the Pazzi banking family and a key conspirator in the Pazzi conspiracy, well named. Francesco is driven by power and greed, working with the Templars to overthrow the Medici rule in Florence. He is ruthless and commands the respect of dangerous allies. His death is a turning point in the Pazzi War. Alongside Francesco, Ezio also assassinates Stefano da Bagnoni, a fanatical priest who acts as a spiritual guide to the Pazzi conspirators. Stefano represents the manipulation of religion for political gain. preaching violence in the name of justice.
Now I will see who was right.
Ezio then pursues Antonio Maffei, a monk-turned-propagandist who uses fear and sermons to incite rebellion against the Medici family. Antonio's influence is widespread and he operates in secret, hiding in towers and cloisters. Francesco Salviati is another important figure in the conspiracy, serving as the Archbishop of Pisa and aligning himself with the Templars to expand his power. He leads an attack on Florence's gates, attempting to take the city by force. Ezio must prevent this siege, and killing Salviati is both a defensive act and a message to the Templars. The last of the Pazzi family to be targeted is Jacopo de Pazzi, a manipulative strategist who holds a higher position within the Templar order. Ezio tracks him down after Francesco's death, only to find Jacopo betrayed and dying at the hands of Rodrigo Borgia. Ezio delivers the final blow, but the real revelation is seeing Borgia himself, leader of the Italian Templars, emerge as the true threat. In Venice, Ezio shifts focus to dismantling the Templar stronghold there. His first major target is Emilio Barbarigo, a merchant lord who rules Venice's economy with an iron grip. Emilio uses fear and taxes to control the people and build a private army. Ezio infiltrates his fortress-like estate and kills him with the help of local thieves, showing a reliance on allies and strategy. Ezio hunts down Carlo Grimaldi, a scheming nobleman who plots to poison the Doge and replace him with a Templar puppet. Ezio arrives too late to prevent the poisoning, and as the Doge collapses, Grimaldi immediately accuses Ezio of the murder, sparking panic among the guards. This is the mission where you use Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine to infiltrate the palace via rooftops. Following Carlo's betrayal, Marco Barbarigo, Emilio's brother, becomes the new Doge and tightens Templar control over Venice. This is the coolest mission as Venice completely changes for Carnevale. In Forli, the focus shifts to the Orsi brothers, Cecco and Ludovico, hired thugs who steal the Apple of Eden. These two represent brute force, greed, and chaos. They act without ideology, serving whoever pays more. Ezio kills them both and reclaims the apple. Back in Florence, Ezio confronts Savonarola, a real historical figure and religious zealot who gains control of the city using the apple's power. Instead of acting alone, Savonarola empowers 9 lieutenants across Florence, each one corrupting a different area of life. Ezio must eliminate each of them before facing Savonarola himself, who he chooses not to assassinate in private, but instead lets the public take justice into their own hands. To end his suffering, Ezio does end up assassinating him, and he gives a grand old speech to the crowd about being taught revenge isn't the answer. Finally, Ezio confronts Rodrigo Borgia, the Templar Grand Master. Rodrigo has become Pope Alexander VI. His ambition is to use the apple and the papal staff to open the vault beneath the Vatican, believing he is the one prophesied to receive divine power. Ezio defeats Rodrigo in a brutal hand-to-hand fight, but spares his life, showing that he's moved beyond vengeance. Rodrigo is not killed because Ezio denies him the satisfaction and claims the greater victory. The variety of the assassinations in each sequence is just so cool. There's a mission where you drive through the mountains knocking guards off your carriage and avoiding fires. There's a mission where Leonardo lets you use his flying machine and you can kick guards off roofs while you navigate fire pits to give you more height. There's a mission at Carnevale where you have to win games like capture the flag and a parkour race to be allowed into the masquerade party where your target is the host. In the first game, we were not really connected to any of the targets, so it wasn't that satisfying to see them killed. But in Assassin's Creed 2, we hunt some of these men for 10 years, and it feels really rewarding to finally catch up to them. The ending in the DLC sequences are kind of weird, as they expect a stealthy approach from you that they have never expected before. The rest of the game, it hardly matters if you get caught, but in the later sequences, it desyncs if you get caught, even if it shouldn't matter. There's one particularly unfair ship assassination where you can't be detected. This makes sense before you're on the boat because they could just sail off, ignoring the fact that this would take ages to set sail. But once you're on the boat, the game doesn't give you a good answer as to why you shouldn't be seen. You're already max notoriety, so what does a little more matter? In the Vatican's hidden vault, Ezio finds not treasure, but a mysterious holographic figure called Minerva, a member of the first civilization. She speaks not to Ezio, but directly to Desmond through Ezio's memories, warning of a coming catastrophe that could destroy humanity. The message ends cryptically, leaving the modern-day assassin stunned, and Ezio asking, "Who on earth is Desmond?"
The rest is up to you, Desmond.
What? Who is Desmond?
After the message, Desmond wakes in the modern day. The assassins realise Abstergo is closing in on their hideout. The team flees, setting up for the events of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Thank goodness the Templars forgot to bring guns and brought these expandable batons that look like Renaissance swords. In Assassin's Creed 2, side content plays a significant role in enriching the game world, offering both gameplay variety and deeper narrative layers beyond the main story. The optional activities span collectibles, puzzles, renovations, and combat challenges, each tying into the game's themes of legacy, history, and personal growth. One of the standout activities is the quest to find the 6 assassin tombs scattered across major cities like Florence, Venice, and Forlì. These tombs are hidden beneath landmarks and function as platforming challenges, requiring players to navigate complex parkour puzzles and traps. Some of these are really fun when you're jumping through a beautiful old church without time constraints, but there's a special kind of place in hell for whoever created this timed mission. The parkour feels pretty nice in this game, but it's not precise enough for this nonsense. I'm sure this caused more than one controller to break since the game has been out. Completing each tomb rewards Ezio with a seal, and once all 6 are gathered, they can be placed in the Auditory family crypt. This unlocks the armour of Altair, a powerful and iconic piece of equipment with a historical significance to the Assassin Brotherhood. Another key element of side content that's not really side content because you need to collect all of them involves the recovery of codex pages left behind by Altair. There are 30 pages in total hidden throughout the game world. Once collected, these pages must be taken to Leonardo da Vinci, who deciphers them and unlocks weapon upgrades for Ezio. The pages are also critical to progressing the story as they collectively form a map to the location of the Apple of Eden. Collectible hunting is also central to the game, most notably through the gathering of 100 hidden feathers. These feathers are scattered across rooftops and alleyways in various cities, and their significance ties to Ezio's younger brother, Petruchio, who was collecting them before he died. Finding all of them was hell, but I did it because I'd heard there was an emotional scene with Ezio's mother, who remains traumatized by her family's loss. She kind of just says thanks and gave me the auditory cape, which gives you the max notoriety in every area, meaning you're hunted on sight. What a great gift, Mom! Scattered around the world are treasure chests containing florins, the game's currency. They can be found in secret or guarded locations and offer a passive way to earn money for upgrades. A major optional system involves the renovation and management of the Auditory Villa in Monteriggioni. After fleeing Florence, Ezio and his family take refuge there, and over time players can invest florins into restoring the estate. Upgrades include rebuilding shops like blacksmiths and art merchants, renovating the church and mines, and decorating the villa with the collected art and weapons. These investments not only improve the visual appeal of the estate, but also generate passive income that Ezio can collect from a chest. I loved this so much as you really see the villa improve, and there's always a reason to come back. There's also assassination contracts that challenge players to eliminate targets across the map, career missions having Ezio deliver letters under time pressure, and race challenges to test parkour skills against the clock. There's also beat-up events that involve confronting and punishing unfaithful or abusive men. As Ezio's actions in cities become more notorious, wanted posters begin appearing across the rooftops and alleys. These can be torn down to reduce notoriety, which lowers guard aggression and makes it easier to move unnoticed. One of the more lore-heavy side elements is the set of glyphs scattered across the world, which are tied to a secret message known as the Truth. These glyphs are hidden on specific buildings and must be found using eagle vision. Interacting with them unlocks cryptic puzzles involving historical images, ciphered texts, and philosophical riddles. Some of these are extremely hard, and I had to use a guide. Solving all glyphs gradually reveals segments of a hidden video that suggests a deeper conspiracy about the origins of humanity and the influence of the pieces of Eden. This directly ties into the overarching lore of the Assassin's Creed franchise and gives players a glimpse into the first civilization mythology. I personally hate the first civilization stuff in these games because there's multiple times in future games where you'll be vibing and having a great time only to be forced to listen to a 10-minute monologue from Juno who uses loads of cryptic words to say a whole bunch of nothing that never becomes relevant because they realised that everyone found this stuff boring and dropped it as best they could. On the locations, Florence is a stunningly realised Renaissance metropolis, teeming with architectural splendour and historical authenticity. From the red-tiled rooftops to the intricate facades. I visited Florence last year and recognised so many places that I'd been, and it's truly the beauty of this series that this is possible. Tuscany brings a refreshing change of pace with its rustic charm and rolling countryside, but arguably the crown jewel of Assassin's Creed 2 is that Venice is breathtaking. The canals, the gondolas, the Renaissance architecture are woven seamlessly into the gameplay, parkouring across rooftops, diving into water to evade guards, or climbing the Basilica di San Marco makes exploring Venice something you will never get tired of. Ezio himself is such an amazing character. When you play as him at first, he's so carefree, getting into fights, sneaking around to meet a young lady and then running from her father, beating up his sister's cheating boyfriend and occasionally delivering letters for his father. When his family are executed, he has to become more serious, but he still doesn't lose his flirtatiousness or his core personality.
Her husband is the Lord of Forli. That woman is as powerful and dangerous as she is young and beautiful.
Sempre come una donna per me.
But he's also more than his fun side. We see Ezio, even as a grown man, struggling to not let his desire for revenge consume him. He really wants to believe in the creed, but he's lost so much and seen so much hurt that he wants to take revenge forever, and you can see him push against that. It's better than Altair's arc from selfish to believing in the creed because Altair's journey is not very personal to him and also very quickly resolved. The Desmond sections in this game are actually very minimal. You're only forcefully pulled out of the Animus once, and it's a short section where you practice parkour around some crates. The idea is that they're trying to train Desmond to be an assassin by making use of the bleeding effect from the Animus that blurs the past with the present. It can also make him crazy, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. I loved this game so much that I actually went out of my way to purposely get all of the achievements, which is something I have never done for a game before. Honestly, none of them were that hard because there's always some easy fix to get a difficult looking achievement. The hardest one is probably the feathers because there's so many of them, but just use a guide from the beginning to mark off the ones you find naturally. If you want to easily platinum or 100% a game that isn't an easy story-driven game, I honestly recommend this one. This level of completion won't happen again because I believe the next game introduces optional objectives, which means 100% synchronization just isn't going to happen if I want to finish all AC games this year. With that said, I am really looking forward to Brotherhood because from what I remember, I loved it even more than this game, but I'm not seeing how it's going to be better at the moment. Obviously, this goes to the top of the list of the ranking. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe so you know when the next video is released, and it just helps me out big time. I'll see you next time.